Hello there and welcome to the Frequently Asked Questions Beginner's Camera Buying Guide. I'm going to be going through a list of questions here and just answering them off the top of my head with the best answer I have for each of them. First question is, what's the best beginner's camera to buy? My immediate answer is the Nikon or Nikon D3500. If you're a Canon user, get the Canon 750D. If you're a Sony user, get the Sony A6000. Boom. Reason being, these cameras they're very modern cameras, but they literally have everything you will need for years to come until you get even more advanced that you need to take good photos. The quality of them inside is phenomenal. All the stuff on the inside is such top-notch these days that really the only thing you're paying for if you buy more advanced stuff is other features, which I can go into shortly. Next question. What's the difference between a DSLR and a mirrorless camera? You might have heard these terms before. Okay, good. So a DSLR stands for digital single lens reflex. Digital means it's a digital camera, as in a camera that's a computer, not the old days when cameras shot with film. It's a digital camera because it saves your pictures to a digital file, yeah? Single means there's one of it. Lens means the lens on front of the camera. Reflex means that, okay, in the middle of there, you can see, I think you can see, a mirror. A DSLR uses a mirror. When you look through here, you're looking through a mirror, like a periscope, that's actually showing you exactly what the lens in front of your camera is seeing. So you're seeing, your eye looks through here, it reflects your vision down into the lens, and you see exactly in real life what your lens is seeing. Okay, a mirrorless camera does not have this mirror inside it. The reason, the difference is that without this mirror system in there, you can afford to make the camera even smaller physically, because you do not have to build this mirror system. And the difference being that instead of when you look through here, instead of seeing through a mirror and seeing real life, instead when you look through there, you'll see a little digital TV screen. That's the difference between DSLR and mirrorless. It does not have any difference in the image quality or anything else. They're just built differently, and different people might prefer to either, like myself, I prefer to see real life when I look through there. Some people don't mind looking at a TV screen. I mean, like, basically a phone is a mirrorless because there is no mirror in this phone. When you look through, you see just a screen, which is what your camera is relaying digitally. Okay, I hope that makes some kind of sense. Next question. How many megapixels do I need? You need about 12 megapixels. Now, most cameras these days do not even have that fewer megapixels. And there's the point. Do not even think about megapixels when you buy a camera. I know you can get cameras that have like 16, 20, 24, 30, even like 40 megapixels these days. Those megapixels do not equate to a better image quality. What they equate to is allowing you, if you want to print your images, they allow you to print them massively. But I'll tell you honestly, in my entire career being a photographer, I've never needed more than 10 or 12 megapixels for any image I've ever taken. Even if I've taken images at like 20 megapixels, I always make them smaller in the computer later because when you put them on the internet, no one sees 20 megapixels. That's so many more megapixels than you ever will need. That's just me being honest with you. So don't even think about megapixels. If you're buying a camera, any camera these days is amazing, and megapixels is not something you need to think about. What lenses should I get? Okay, good. So to start with, the lens that comes with the camera, the kit lens, which is usually like just a basic zoom. You can have it wide or you can zoom in. That's fine for pretty much most things. The only lens that I would personally recommend you to get in addition to that would be a 50mm lens. The reason being that 50mm is good if you want to take pictures of people because, without going into too much detail, 50mm lenses allow you to blur the background a lot more than these standard kit lenses can do. Okay, so I would recommend getting the kit lens that comes with your camera, then add to it a 50mm lens. There's different price versions. You can just get the cheapest because they're all quite similar. But luckily 50mm lenses can be one of the cheapest lenses that you'll buy. So might as well. Next question. What's all the equipment I need to start? You need a camera, you need a lens, you need a battery for your camera, you need a charger, maybe a spare battery might be nice, and you need a memory card. That's what you need to start with. And don't get any crazy ideas at this point in your life that you need a trillion different things. As you go along, you will find use eventually for, that little extra accessory might help. But to start with, you do not need any of that. Next question. Will a more expensive camera take better photos? Quick answer, no. Because photography is about light. Good. Next question. If you can get great results with a cheap camera, then why do more advanced and expensive cameras and lenses even exist? Okay, good question. The reason that more expensive cameras exist is that, because basically technology is so good these days that even a basic camera will do 95% of everything you want it to do. That's the raw truth. And if you want to take good photos, you need to just learn your techniques with lighting and these other little things. It's not the camera that's going to get you the good image. I could say so much more on this, but I just won't right now. But the reason why you would eventually probably upgrade and get a bigger model, more advanced, is because these more expensive models, they have other little features which when you first start out, you don't have any use for those features because you're still learning what it basically does. And having said that, even the most basic camera has most of the features you'll ever need anyway. But say if you want to go professional and it's like, you have very specific requirements and you've learnt that, you do need that extra feature, then yes, then you get a better quality system, okay? You can also buy an expensive camera if you want to look good. Same applies to lenses, all right? If you know how to take good photos, you can take a good photo with almost any lens that exists, okay? All right. If you want to invest even more money in the higher quality lenses, you're going to get small improvements, maybe in sharpness and stuff like this. But if you don't know how to take a good photo to begin with, then none of that even matters. So start with your education before you get into opening up your wallet a little bit wider. Next question. Okay, what photo editing software should I get and learn to use to edit my photos? Photoshop. There are various programs out there, but I swear by Photoshop. And you might think, oh well, Photoshop might be an expensive program. It's not expensive these days because you can get it on subscription. All right, you can start with a 7-day free trial. I do not have any affiliation with Photoshop, the company, or anything like that, but it's a good program. So Photoshop, yeah. So you can literally pay like $10 a month and just have it for however many months you need it for. That's what I do. It's super cheap. And then you just go online and learn your tutorials about different things that you want to learn. I only know 20% of Photoshop, and I can do everything I want to with 20%. So it won't take you too long to learn, but that's the program to do. But again, I'm not against other programs. You can try whatever works best for you. But for me, you want a recommendation from me? Photoshop. And having said that, there's another program made by the same company, which you might have heard of. It's called Lightroom. Lightroom is useful if you are editing lots of photos and say you want to copy your photo edits from one photo to another without having to recreate everything again. Photoshop's good for like individual photo editing. Lightroom's good if you want to edit a lot of photos all at once. Yada yada. All right. My friend recommended that I buy blah blah model camera. What do you think about it? What do I think about it? I think your friend's right. Because like I said before, any camera these days is pretty damn good. You can't really go wrong. Next one is, I don't think I'm any good at taking photos. Firstly, that's not a question. And secondly, that's not true. Don't ever put yourself down like that. And don't ever listen to anyone else who might say the same thing about you, because it's not true. And lastly, how do I become a really good photographer? 2 things. You observe and you practice. I never went to school to do a professional photography course ever in my life. Okay? I just observed and I practiced. And I did that over and over and over and got good at it. Now, if you'd like to learn from me personally, then enroll on my full photography course that I now have available, and I will personally teach you the simple Luc Ayers way. Okay, good. I hope you've been enlightened. I hope you find this information useful. Feel free to send me any other questions, and I will happily answer them for you. All the best. Happy shooting. Good luck.